Okay, in this video I want to go directly to the main point, which is how I was able to get a creator for almost 0 to 20k in a single month. First of all, I want to show you guys the numbers actually to prove you that I'm not talking bullshit, but that it's actually true. So I'm gonna jump into Only Monster and show you. Okay, so now that we are here, I'm gonna have to blurry some stuff, but just so you can see that it's true, I'm just gonna reload the Only Monster tab. And as you can see, 20,000. And yeah, that's about it. So let's just go ahead and go back to the diagram so I can show you guys how we actually did it. By the way, this video is for you, Onlyfans model, or for you, agency, okay? I think both of you can grow and can learn from this, so let's just go ahead. So first things first, once you have the creator sign, we have to go ahead and be like, okay, how can we just get her to the numbers that we want? Okay, how we got her to the 20,000. By the way, just to like a quick mention, we're talking about a creator that doesn't show face, okay, like a no face creator. We are no longer taking applicants like this or our agency, any models like this. Now, as for the marketing, we actually went through with Twitter, Instagram, and Reddit. Twitter showed no success. We didn't see any success at first, and we were like, okay, this is taking too much time. Let's just focus on these two other main platforms, right? Reddit and Instagram, and let's just see how it goes and how it converts. Now, for the marketing, the first question that you have to ask yourself is, what social media are we going to be using? Is it going to be safe for work? Is it going to be not safe for work? And what branding are we going to be giving to that creator? Because that changes a lot depending on the platform and depending on the creator. And finally, what content verticals are we going to be going through on a 4 to 6 week plan in order to get her to go viral and grow on her IG accounts or Reddit accounts? The first thing that you have to ask yourself is, okay, what type of body does the model have? What hobbies is she or he into? What type of personality does she have? What limits does she have? Is it a new account or is it a bot account? And this is something that's going to be shared between Reddit and Instagram. Why? Because depending on the type of body that she has, you're going to go for a type of subreddit or a different one. Depending on the hobbies she's into, you're going to be going for some type of content on Instagram or another type. And same thing with the personality, right? It's not the same if she's an introvert rather than an extrovert. So that's something to actually have in mind when it comes to this. Now, as for new account or bot account, it's exactly the same thing, right? Is it an IG account that's new, or is it a bot one, or is she using the one that she has already come with, so her personal one? With Reddit, the same thing. Is it like a farmed account, or is it like a new account from scratch? Because it's going to take you way more time if it's from scratch, right? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself before jumping into anything else. Now, for Reddit, the way that we did it was, first of all, we got a list of 20 subreddits to post in, okay, for 2 different accounts. Those accounts, one was safe for work, the other one was not safe for work. The safe for work one was more in the petite niche, let's just call it that. And the other one was in the public niche. I won't be giving you any more info, you can just figure it out yourself. Now, super important to have tracking links for each one so you can track where's the money coming from, how many subscribers are converting, how many clicks are arriving to the account from that link and whatnot. A good spoofer that cannot be tracked, okay? There's many options. The problem with spoofers normally is that you're gonna have spoofers that work for some time, but they just stop working after some time, and then you're gonna have spoofers that actually work and do a good job. If you want to, you can just reach out to me on Instagram and I will let you know about the spoofer that we use, and that's actually helping us a lot. Because I can tell you, I've tried almost every single spoofer in the OFM industry. And then lots of work from the model side, okay? This is something super important. Like, if you get a model that's lazy, okay, maybe you are doing dating apps, but dating apps for me is just like a cancer in a sense, because it's gonna take a lot of money out of you. It's gonna take a lot of time from you. It's gonna cost you a lot of money. And is it gonna be worth it? Well, depends on the way that you see everything, right? But for me, it doesn't. Then free trial link, okay? At first, if the account is from scratch, that's the thing that I recommend the most, like a free trial link. I think that's actually super important. It doesn't have to be a month or 6 months or 12 months, but with 7 days, 3 days, 14 days, I think you can actually kind of understand if the subscriber is going to spend or no. What I recommend personally is 3 days. And then no upvotes and full organic. Okay, that's something that we also recommend, because the problem with upvotes is if you're going to compete in subreddits that require upvotes, it's super complicated, because there's going to be agencies that are constantly buying crazy amounts of upvotes. I'm talking 300, 400, 500 upvotes, and that are just doing suicide method. And I mean, if you plan on doing that, go ahead, do it. But for me, what I've seen with other creators is the best thing is an organic plan for a long-term strategy. So that will be Reddit. Now, Instagram, we went all in. Okay, when I mean all in is that instead of going for just one account, we actually went for 4 accounts. Those 4 accounts were completely separate. Okay, I'm not talking about a strategy that was working in 2024 as some other people are saying, right? Which is repurposing the same content with a spoofer and just posting it again and again. Maybe it still works for some creators, but I do feel like Meta's AI is super good at that. And I mean, it's just like another headache that we can just fix by not doing it. You know what I mean? Just either going for one account and doing a lot of content in that account, or going for multiple accounts with different niches per account. Okay. In this case, for example, we had 4 accounts. Each one of those was posting different verticals in different niches. And this is the way that we start, right? So first we go for 1 reel for a full week. So we post one reel per day for a full week. Of course, we have our warm-up. I can do a video about this if you're interested in hearing more. And then after that, once we get a video that kind of pops off, after we see that we have some success with one of those videos, then we start posting 2 or 3 per day for the rest of the account's future. I already told you before that this creator is a no-face creator, and I bet a lot of you were like, okay, I don't know how to do that. Like, I don't think it's possible. That, like, it's such a headache. And in a sense it is, but in a sense it isn't, because it also has some pros, also has some cons. But some of the pros are, for example, you can reuse the same scripts over and over again because you cannot see her face getting old. People usually have an interest in this type of creator because you cannot see her face. So it's just like, okay, how does her face look? And that's just kind of interesting. So I have here some examples, okay, just for all of the people that think that it's not possible, so you can see that it's actually possible. I'm gonna go for the first one, which is Kaylee. She usually just does Q&As. She's British. She never shows her face on her videos, and you can still see that she gets views. 112 here, 117, 500,000 here. As you can see, it can be done. This creator is now showing face, but she used to not show her face, okay? And yeah, yes, as you can see, this video has 394,000 views. And if you keep going, like, you're gonna see that she actually has good views for not showing face. So it actually works. Another one that I found is this one. As you can see, her views are crazy. But again, like, if you want to be able to get these numbers, if you want to be able to get to this amount of followers, you actually have to be very, very creative with the type of content that you post. Because if you're not creative, it's impossible that you're going to be able to actually get to this level, right? And then finally, this is a recommendation that I guess a lot of you already know who she is. So this is Leo Lulu. This is one of the first creators. She started on PH. She used to do videos with her partner. I don't know if she still does anymore. The thing is, she actually understands content. She knows how to do it, and she's been able to grow a massive following, like a massive brand, to 581,000 followers. And I guess she actually has a lot of followers too on her Twitter, on her PH, and of course a lot of success on her OF account. Now, let's just move to the chatting side of things, okay? Chatting is also super important. It's not like there's one that's more important than the other, because you cannot sell if you don't have traffic, but at the same time, if you have traffic and you're not good at selling, you're not going to make money. So it's like both sides of the spectrum, right? Now, as for the chatting, there's many things that you can take notes on, but I try to mention the most important ones for me, which are, first of all, scripts, then 24/7 chatting on the account, a CRM to track data, super important, lists, and then the rest. So let's just go one by one. For scripts, my recommendation, the way that we did it, was having multiple scripts, but not every single one being the same thing, okay? We don't want to have like every single script with the same lingerie. We want to have different situations where we can take the fan and he can actually believe that's happening in real time. Netflix, bathroom, gym, car, outdoors, doesn't matter, right? But it has to be believable. Then a proper structure, okay? This is something that also the chatters must know, right? But you need to have a sequence of how things are happening, because if you have this sequence, you're going to be able to upsell. And that's what we want. We don't want to have like a random selection of content. This is a personal recommendation, okay? We've actually tried this and we've seen that it works, which is being interactive, okay? Like let the fan take part of the decisions. How can you play with this? So for example, just letting him choose between the different type of lingerie that the model is going to wear. Let him choose what type of toy the model is going to wear. You can actually get these things to work. It's not that complicated. You just need to figure it out the way. But I think with this, you can actually do it. Super important. I don't know why people don't think about this. It's always going to be better if the creator, the model, is taking the content with her hand, okay, instead of a tripod. Why? Because subscribers at the end of the day, they want everything to feel like it's real, like it's a girlfriend. They want the content to be as amateur as possible. I'm not talking about the content on social media. I'm talking about the content on OF. Now, 24/7 chatting on the account, of course, super important. Like at the end of the day, we have to look at this as if it was an e-commerce, for example, a store. A store doesn't close at, 3 a.m. Yes, you have to be careful with the fans. You're going to be able to do this by having 3 chatters on a 8-hour shift, so you can complete the 24 hours. Now, you can either go for your own team or you can go for a chatting agency. A chatting agency is going to cost you anywhere from 20% or maybe 15% if it's starting out, up to 30%. And then your own team is going to cost you the time that's going to take you to do all of the required work to hire someone, okay? Because yes, it may feel like it's just putting an ad, whatever, on a Telegram group and then you're going to hire that person, but that's super amateur and we are professionals in this industry. How do we do it? By having a hiring process that the chatter has to go through, that the applicant has to go through in order for you to hire them. With a chatting camp, with your current strategies that they have to learn, with different tests. It's not just like, hey, you're hired, or hey, I think you're interesting, you're hired. No, it's exactly like any other company. In my opinion, even though it takes more time, it's better to have your own team, because the thing with a chatting agency is the moment they get a better creator or a creator that's bringing more traffic, they're going to switch the chatters that are good to that creator. And all of the relationships, all of the way that you were speaking with the fans, all of that is going to completely disappear, or it's going to be completely different to what was happening. So the fan is going to know that and he's going to subscribe or he's going to stop spending. And that's the last thing that we want. So better to have your own chatters. Now, communication is key here, right? Like what you cannot have is a chatter that's finished talking with a subscriber like 2 hours ago, and then the new chatter arrives to the account and he's like, hey, it's been a long time. How are you doing? What do you mean it's been a long time? Well, like we spoke 2 hours ago. Same thing with, for example, the time zones, right? If the model is located in New York, for example, you don't want to be selling a day script when it's nighttime in New York. You want to follow these patterns, okay? Unless the subscriber is new and you don't tell him where the model is from, maybe you can do it. But I don't recommend it. I think it's better to just follow the natural timeline and use the scripts of the natural timeline of the creator. Not the chatters, but the creator. And super important, this is related to what I was saying about the own team. The most important thing when it comes to chatters is that they are professionals. Like you don't want to be hiring a random guy that you haven't tested. Because if you haven't gotten on a call with him and you have seen how he does his job, how are you going to actually hire him? Now, we also have the CRM to track data, okay? There's many options. You have Inflow, you have Creator Hero, you have many other options. The ones that we use actually is Only Monster, okay? I'm going to leave you a referral code on the bio, so you can just check it out for yourselves. We were using Chatterly previously. It was, for me, one of the best softwares in the industry by far. But the problem is the project stopped being developed. The support stopped working. They were super bad. So it got to a point where we decided it was better to just move on to another software. And we tried Onlymonster, and since then we haven't looked back. It has AI replies. It has data for all of the tracking links. It has a lot of tools that actually make your life way easier. And the AI translation is super good. And also something that people usually don't mention. It feels like I'm being paid by this, but actually, I'm not being paid by Onlymonster. But one of the things that I really, really like is that they are bringing many adult platforms. So you can also connect, for example, Fansly. You can connect FanView. You can connect MYM, which is like a French one. There's many other ones that you can connect, and even Reddit. Even like you can even manage Reddit on the own browser. So check it out, guys. Now, lists, super important, right? When it comes to sending mass messages, you have to be very careful with who are you talking to. Okay, it's not the same talking to a guy that has only spent $3, or he came from a free trial link and hasn't spent anything in 20 days, than to the guy that has spent 2,000 in the past month. Like, it's going to be a completely different type of conversation. This is some examples. You can actually do many examples. For example, categorizing them depending on the personality that they have. Lover boys or sharks, which will be people that just get inside and want to spend, and that's it. Like, they don't want to actually build a relationship. So there's many categories. Just think about it, okay? Inform yourself. We, for example, have spenders, whales, low spenders, time wasters. Okay, this is super basic, but this is more like a categorization related to how much they spend, which is good. But personality-wise is also top. And then we have voice notes, customs, mass messages. Okay, these are all things that are gonna make you money. Okay, when it comes to customs, what I tend to see is that people usually sell customs for a very low price. I'm a huge fan of selling them for the highest possible. We've been able to sell customs in the agency. The highest one was for $5,000. And previous to that, from the same fund, by the way, we were able to sell one for $2,500, which was actually crazy. And the best thing is it happened in the same month. Okay, I don't know if it was on 30 days or 45 days, under 45 days, but I think it was on the same month, which was crazy. So always go for a higher price. And if they don't pay, that's okay. You can just try to negotiate and try to find a deal. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. Like, sometimes the requests are crazy, right? Voice notes. I really encourage you to take a look at 11 Labs. Okay, I think it's a tool that's going to help you crazy. So just check it out for yourself and you will see what I mean. And that will be it. I think those are like the main points from chatting and from marketing. And this is how both combined we were able to get her from $1,100 to $20,000 in under 30 days. Okay, so I hope this video has been helpful for all of you. If you are a model and you actually want to work with us, just hit me up on Instagram and I will see you on the next one.